Part 4. The title of this volume is not a question but an answer. When, after several decades of learning some things from some areas of life and knowledge, I finally understood the universe, not the cosmos, but the universe, because they are two different things, as a set and a subset, I remembered the following text from the Bible, Gospel according to John 1, 1-18. In the beginning it was a Word. The Word was with God and the Word was God Himself. It was with God from the beginning. Everything was created by the Word, nothing was created without words. In Him was life and this life was light for all people. It shines in the dark, and the darkness could not extinguish it. When I read this for the first time as a young man, I thought, church making. In these days of January, 2024, I can't be surprised where, at the end of the first century of this era, since the birth of Christ, the evangelist John had astonishingly accurate knowledge about how the cosmos was created. This last paragraph is taken as my statement that I consider myself qualified to judge that John the Evangelist knew how the cosmos came into being. And it's true, I dare to claim that I know how the cosmos came into being, and that John the Evangelist also knew approximately it. And then, at that time, and probably as a young man, not as old as I am now, that John the Evangelist is the same one who was a companion of Jesus is not likely, because Jesus' disciple and companion John, Johannes, was at least 20 years old when they were friends, when Jesus preached and when he was crucified on the cross, and the Gospel of John was written, as historians say, at the very end of the first and the beginning of the second century of this era, it is claimed, in the time of Emperor Trajan, Roman Emperor from 98 to 117. All the Gospels were written after Paulus' fables, and the Essenes, from whom both Jesus and his friends, including 1 John, were taught, split up already in the 70s, when the Romans destroyed Jerusalem. So John the Evangelist, if he was the one who was a friend and companion of Jesus, would have been about 100 years old, then when the Gospel of John was written, which I don't think is likely. Which John said what I quoted above, in the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, is not important to me. It is important for me to admire the knowledge about the cosmos that John the Evangelist left behind, to us today's people. I want to explain that knowledge of his now, because I'm really sure that few people today know how the cosmos was created. And maybe no man knows that. Because, I assume that an undoubted knowledge about the origin of the cosmos would be generally accepted, and the theory of the Big Bang would not be held so firmly. It took me 55 years of targeted and non-targeted learning, as I said above, to become sure that I understood how the cosmos was created. I never looked for an answer to the question of how the cosmos was created, but when it started to appear as an interest to me, because I had written down some thoughts related to that topic, the stones began to fit into a mosaic, which I wanted to finish these days, the first days of January 2024. I started from here. A few weeks ago I heard the colossal opinion that every living thing on Earth has a drainage system, which carries water through the whole body to all the cells, and the excess of it, water, is returned or sent to the kidneys, then to the bladder. To this system, according to the secrecy in not knowing, the system of birth, nutrition and maintenance in the life of the cosmos, the so-called dark mass or ether, seemed to be equal to this system. I have already said in one place that the dark mass is the father, mother, womb and graveyard of all chemical elements and conditions in the cosmos. On all manifestations and conditions in the cosmos, the dark mass is the most influential as gravity, in the function of maintaining the absolute relationship between the material manifestations of galactic sizes. The second thing I start with is this. Everything that we see, register or happen to us in the cosmos could not have come from nothing. If we also ignore the fact that the old Indian books say that the cosmos lasts in cycles, Amin Raisai in the book Got und Gotta says, 3,110.4 billion Earth years are 1 year of Brahma. 100 such year of Brahma corresponds to the duration of the universe. So multiply this 3,110.4 billion by 100 and you get the number of Earth years of the universe. According to Amin Raisai, it is now like this. The first half of Brahma's life has just passed and the second is just now flowing. I want to emphasize that I am not interested in some cycle after cycle of the duration of the cosmos, but I am interested in its absolute beginning. And it had to be. Because if something has no end, it must have a beginning. Something without beginning and material my brain does not understand. So how is it, as John the Evangelist said? Because if I were to start explaining the new cycle of the cosmos, it would be easy. However, explaining the absolute beginning of the cosmos is difficult. Even if we know what and from what material everything started, it remains difficult to understand why everything in the cosmos is spinning. The entire cosmos, all the galaxies, all the constellations around their stars and all the planets around their axes. I'm not going to say anything about atoms for now, because 50, 100 or however many subatomic particles people count, also don't have birth charts. All this is not acceptable with the Big Bang theory. Now it remains to explain how everything, according to my assumption, begins, how it lasts and how it dies in the dark mass. That is in cosmos. That explanation will take time.